Hey, quick question. Do you ever wish you had more ideas for how to enrich your cat's life, or even just a supportive community to share the cat enrichment journey with? If so, you'll love Trailblazers. It's my community for cat lovers who want to deepen their bond with their cat through fun enrichment and adventure, both indoors and out. We do monthly theme challenges to keep things fresh, and we get together for casual Zoom chats twice a month where you can ask questions, share wins or struggles, and connect with other cat people who really get it. And since I know you're a podcast person, you'll really appreciate the private podcast for extra tips and inspiration. Whether your cat is hiking trails or just exploring the living room, there's a place for you in Trailblazers. And the best part, you can try it out for free. Your first 2 weeks are on me. Come join the adventure at kittycatgo.com/trailblazers. I'd love to see you over there. Welcome to the Kitty Cat Go Adventure Podcast. I'm your host, Emily Hall, certified cat trainer and cat adventure enthusiast. Whether you're a seasoned explorer just starting to leash train your cat, or haven't even begun your adventure journey yet, you're in the right place. Here on the show, we dive into anything and everything cat adventure, travel, training, and enrichment, with a mix of solo episodes as well as guest expert interviews. From indoor activities to backyard escapades to hiking, backpacking, and kayaking, no adventure is too big or too small. Get ready to be inspired, learn something new, and unleash your cat's adventurous spirit. Let's go! Have you ever wondered what it's like to live full-time on a sailboat with your cat? In this episode, I'm joined by a couple who's doing exactly that. They're sharing what boat life looks like with a kitty cat crewmate, how they keep things safe, and what it really takes to make this adventurous lifestyle work. Today's guests are Shane and Maryvonne Peyre, who have lived full-time on their sailboat for 14 years. Leaving normal life behind in Australia in 2010, they flew to the Caribbean to move on board their new boat, Gem. In 2015, they decided to add a cat to the crew, Miss Rigby. Since joining her family, Rigby has been a full-time sailboat kitty. She and her crew have traveled up and down the East Coast several times, as well as sailed all over the Caribbean. She sails, she boats, she explores remote islands, she kayaks, and she even swims. Let's go ahead and bring Shane and Maryvonne on. Hey.
Hi.
Good evening. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Yep. No. Fantastic.
Keeping dry with this Florida weather tonight.
Yeah, I hear you guys have some flooding, right?
Some crazy rain, some crazy flooding. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Shane just made it back on time. So.
And luckily we live on a boat. We just float up with the tide.
There you go. Well, very cool. So, I shared a little bit about you guys in the bio I just read, but can you expand on that? Tell us about yourselves and Rigby.
Yeah, well, I think as Rigby was a birthday present to MV, I think she should go ahead.
So
throw her under the bus.
Thank you for that. So we are both crazy animal lovers, maybe me a little more so. And we used to have a golden retriever for 15 years that I bought Shane as a wedding present. And then we decided to quit the real world, as we call it, and buy a boat on the other side of the world and move on to it. So we did that, and we were traveling around for 5 years.
Yeah, it was never meant to be that long, but it ended up started to drag out.
And now it's 14 years. I can't believe that.
So it got to about 5, and then
we were sailing from the Caribbean up to New York nonstop for 10 days, and I think I finally broke Shane down and said we need a pet. So we decided to get a cat, and I love Burmese cats. I know they're quite dog-like. So during that trip, we decided, we're going to get a Burmese cat, and
then let the games begin. What do we call the cat?
Oh yeah, so
that was like 9 days of sailing.
So we ended up calling her Miss Rigby. Many people think it's after Eleanor Rigby, the song, the Beatles song, but it's not. It is after an island that Shane loves and has camped on since he was a teenager. called Rigby Island.
And then Rigby Island, the only way to get there from mainland Australia is via a little crappy fiberglass, crappy little boat. And that boat is named Miss Rigby. So we wanted to have Miss Rigby or the cat's name like a boat name or something, a part of a boat, Shackle or, Spinnaker
we couldn't
but
come
we
up
couldn't
with
come
any
up
of
with
those.
anything that was appropriate. So we thought Miss Rigby is the boat that gets me to the island that we have a share of. And that's stuck.
That sounds ridiculous that we have a share of an island.
Oh.
It's an uninhabited nature reserve that we have this tiny parcel that we're allowed to camp on. There's no houses,
Okay.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
It's really not that fancy.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty fancy. I'd love to have a little uninhabited parcel of an island.
I know.
I actually call it a
Envy calls it
are we allowed to swear?
no swamp, a mosquito-infested swamp area, and it's
I actually call it a mosquito-infested shithole.
I know. But no,
It's his thing.
it's my thing, and it's cool.
So that's how Rigby
Yeah, that's
came
how
about.
Rigby Island, Miss Rigby the boat,
And then when we got to New York, we did a lot of research and found a really amazing, reputable breeder, and
in Connecticut.
And yeah, she was born, and then we picked her up on my birthday.
Yeah, she has a US passport, obviously.
She's an American kitty, American Burmese. So yeah. In hindsight, if I was to get another cat, I would probably get a rescue now after knowing that. But we love her, and she's great.
She's a US cat that does love Vegemite, though.
Yes.
Which is not many US people like a Vegemite. So
but she loves it, and she doesn't eat any human food. But if you put Vegemite on your finger, she will go to town.
Yep.
Ah, that's funny. I only know what Vegemite is because of that song "Land Down Under" by Working Men or something like that.
Vegemite sandwich.
Vegemite sandwich.
Yeah.
Men at work.
Yeah. Men at work. That's it. That's funny. Darren, a viewer, is saying Australians in Florida. That could be a movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well.
We're not.
You probably heard of Florida Man. It could be Australia Man in Florida.
Australian Florida Man.
yeah, Australian Florida Man.
You're gonna go wrestle some crocs?
Yeah, wrestle an alligator, or certainly.
Channel your Steve Irwin spirit.
It's funny. Americans liked him better than Australians did, I think, because we're just like he's just
an Aussie.
Just an Aussie being an idiot. But Americans are like, oh, wow, he's fantastic. And he was a great guy.
Yeah, he changed, and those people actually make a big difference to Australia as well. Look at Paul Hogan, Crocodile Dundee.
All that sort of stuff.
So.
Very cool. Well, how long have you had Rigby?
She will turn 9 on July 1st.
Wow, that's great.
And she's been a sailboat kitty her whole life, right?
Whole life. That's all she knows.
Never lived on land except when she's at the cat sitters.
We've had numerous cat sitters that want to steal her.
Yeah, sometimes they don't give her back, and they cry when she leaves.
I know.
Oh.
And the only time we really get her cat sat is when we go home to Australia, because we can't take her. Like, she'd be in cargo and then in quarantine for 2 weeks, and
couldn't do that.
And it costs a fortune, and it's like, why would I do that? That's ridiculous. And we got very lucky.
Very lucky.
We're into our 3rd cat sitter, reliable cat sitter, but they all live in the same condo complex.
Yeah.
They've just one of them got older and couldn't, and then another one I found a cat for. I ended up finding her a retired Burmese queen from a breeder who looks exactly like Rigby.
It's identical.
And so she now has
a bit more smushed.
She has Luna, and Rigby doesn't like other cats, so she can't mind them together, unfortunately. But they knew someone, and now Rigby is minded by someone down the hallway.
But yeah, she loves boat life.
She does love boat life, but she does love having a partner time as well.
Yeah, she runs around the hallways of the condo complex, and we do walk her around the condos as well. Yeah, so
when we visit, we actually have to visit our cat sitters with Rigby in between them looking after her, so because they miss her. But she's very adaptable. We've basically raised her like a dog in a way. So she's very adaptable. She just, as long as we're with her and she feels safe, I think she's good.
Give her confidence and
reassure her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what is sailboat living with a cat like? I mean, I know when people think about living on a boat full time, they probably think, "Oh, I can't have a pet. It would be too hard to have a pet living on a boat." So what do you guys have to do to make it work? What's it like?
Oh, for sure.
I think it's fantastic. Firstly, it's so much better with a cat.
Well, it's better than a chicken. There's a guy that lived on a boat with a chicken.
There is a French guy sailed around the world with his chicken. He even took it up to Antarctica.
Yeah, I mean the chicken was
everywhere. Was like on an iceberg. It's nuts. But, so no, I wouldn't have a chicken.
No, and a dog is just so much work because you really need to walk a dog. You need to. Dogs like to poop, obviously, on land or.
Lots of people have dogs. Don't get me wrong. They do, but we didn't want the commitment of that. Like
maybe we're too lazy. I'm not sure.
No, just easier with a cat. You've got her litter box. So we have 2 bathrooms on our boat, and so in the bathroom we don't use in the shower stall. We have just a regular cat litter box, and we have the door propped open so she can go in and out.
We can leave her for hours a day. Like most cats sleep 23 hours and 45 minutes a day.
She sleeps a lot. As much as she looks so active, she is active when she's awake.
When she gets dragged out,
yeah.
But
I don't know. There's not a lot. I mean, when we're at the moment we're in. No, there's not. The only negative is trying to find a cat sitter if we want to go away. But we're lucky at the moment. But when we do continue traveling, that will maybe become more difficult. And I'd never put her into like a cattery or somewhere where she's in a cage.
And other cats around.
And other cats,
But I think traveling with a pet, sailing around the world is difficult anyway because different countries have different laws. So whether you're a dog or a cat or a parrot or an iguana, I mean, one boat had an iguana.
I think, there are. We're pretty easy where we are now. There's not too many rules. Like before we go to the Bahamas, we need to apply to bring her in. You could sneak her in because, who's going to know? Did I say that out loud?
No.
Sorry.
No sneaking anyone in.
No, but it's a very easy process. You can just.
It's pretty relaxed, but they are actually asking these days. It wasn't a few years ago, but they are asking for you to get a pet permit, have a vet's certificate that she's been inspected. She has all her shots.
As long as your pet has all their shots and are up to date with all of that and have a current health certificate if you're moving countries, you're pretty good. I mean, the toughest countries are going to have to be Australia and New Zealand, where we are.
Oh, Galapagos. You can't go into Galapagos. We can't hardly get into Galapagos.
Yeah, the Galapagos Islands in the Pacific. So it's not too bad. It's not that difficult. No. You just have to look ahead and go into this country. And some of the rules when you look it up on the internet are you've got to have this and you've got to have that. And I've flown into countries with her, and they don't even look at her or ask for all the stuff that I've just already done and applied for and spent hours researching.
And money.
And I have my cat. I have my cat in my carrier, and they're like, oh, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's better safe than sorry in case they did ask for it, though, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to cover it. It's like us with the boat. Got to do all the right things because it can go pear-shaped quick.
Yeah. Have you had to make any modifications to your boat to make it work for a cat, like finding litter box locations or adding cat trees and scratchers and all of that?
I'm only laughing because I think the main thing that we've done is added lots of beds.
He has
so
places,
many beds.
I think, on one of MV's Instagram posts, she's gone around and shows all of Rigby's
spots. Not even all of them.
Probably not all of them.
But it's...
the first thing we did, we actually wrapped Hessian rope around our mast post.
Yeah,
so it's a nice.
I'm looking at it.
Beautiful big piece of stainless steel, and we wrapped this Hessian rope around it, and that's like a big scratcher.
So that's a cool.
That was a modification.
Yeah. That's a nauticals, and we did that before we even picked her up as a kitten.
But
and then other than that, Well, the cat litter's in
the second head.
We have spare cabin, a mat with her food and bowls. Although Princess Riggs likes to eat in bed. Like, she's not a foodie. You actually have to bring the food to her. She never ever wants to eat. You actually have to give it to her and encourage her to eat.
Conscious of her weight.
That's funny. My cats are the opposite. We have to put them away in the bedroom whenever we're making our human food, and as soon as they'll jump on the table and steal the food right off our plates.
Oh no, Rigby will not. We've caught fresh fish, obviously fishing, and catch fish, and we'll show her the fish.
I'll bring a mahi or a tuna on board,
and she runs away. She will not eat anything that doesn't come out of almost like a can that says cat food on it.
We'll have a flying fish land on the deck when we're sailing, and then you find it a day later, and she'll go up and sniff it. But we didn't do any netting or anything, no protection barriers, but we're really, really cautious of always where she is while we're underway and sailing.
When we're sailing, it's a different story.
Yeah, and at night, the companionway that you can probably see just behind my head,
the stairs.
This way, we lock that down, shut the doors. We're very conscious of where she is.
So when we're sailing overnight, we often do 2 or 3 days or 5 days just at sea non-stop. So we do 3-hour watches on and off. And as soon as it gets dark, the companionway doors are locked, and she's locked down with the person who's off watch. Yeah. She's not allowed to go up on deck when it's at nighttime. And if it's rough weather, she's definitely locked down.
So am I. I just let MV do all the work.
And if it is calm and we're motoring or it's nice sailing conditions, she's allowed in the cockpit with us. But she is definitely both sets of eyes are on her at all time, and she always knows. She knows she's not allowed to go forward on the deck. She's not allowed to go onto the side deck. She just stays with us within the cockpit.
And she looks out. She sees the waves and all
she's
that.
Not stupid.
She's not silly.
She doesn't want to jump in there. No. She's not silly.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I mean, it's so easy having a cat for that reason. You don't have to modify the boat. A lot of people put netting around, the boat.
Only for people with dogs, I think. Oh, the one thing we did do is we're on a beach one day and we found this netting bag with it
was an old dive bag.
And we're like, oh, that will work. So on our boat, we have at the back, we have a swim platform, a platform that just before you jump in. So we hung from the swim ladder this netting, but we put a noodle that cut off, a swim noodle into it. And so we hang that over. When we're at anchor, we hang that over. So if for whatever reason she fell overboard, she's got some way of getting back up on the boat. She can climb.
If we didn't notice. Some cat owners hang a nice big thick rope.
They tie knots in so the cat
various
can climb
things, up. Yeah. And a lot of people we know that have cats say that their cat goes overboard all the time.
And climbs back on. I'm that would freak me out.
Must be a clumsy cat or something.
Yeah, wow.
So, but we found the dive bag really. It's nice wide thing. It's it's porous, and so
you can get her claw.
We actually need to. We always think we should test it with her
and put her in the water and make her climb up it.
Then we don't want to scare her either.
We're actually sailing to the Bahamas in a week or two, just for a couple of weeks. So maybe we will. The water will be warm. Yeah.
So look forward to that on Instagram.
I know. I will start posting to all our Instagram followers that may watch this. I'm sorry that I'm really bad at posting.
We've been a little busy.
We've been living our own life.
But we're also being a lot boring. We haven't been island hopping and all that too.
I know.
But anyway.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Emily, we're straying.
No, I love it. I love all the safety tips you guys shared. The idea, I wouldn't have even thought about having something on the side of the boat for the cat to be able to climb back up. I mean, that's
really important. That's major.
Yeah.
And people will go past in their dinghy and go, oh, you have a cat, because they work it out. We do have and this is a comment I get all the time, is why isn't she wearing a life jacket when she's on deck? And I'm like, because she's a total of 7 pounds. She's a tiny little cat. I do have a life jacket from Lyra Cat that they actually made for her size and tried it out. They sent us various ones. Great company. But she's too clumsy in it. She's so used to her harness and everything. She's so clumsy. I think it would be more dangerous to have her in
Yeah.
the life jacket.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't fall overboard. And if she did, if we were at anchor and she fell overboard, we would see it because she's not allowed just to roam freely.
It'd be a big accident mistake if it ever happened. So, but if you ever put a harness on a cat, I don't know if anyone's done this for the first time. You put a harness on a cat, the cat just like look falls over,
Yeah.
It's like, well, and then you pluck it up and stand it there, and it's like whoop, back over again.
Yeah, you've got to train them into
But
that.
we started a harness with Rigby really early. So.
Yeah, like 2 days after we had her in her first harness. So.
And she did the same. Whoop.
Not for long though,
Yeah.
because we just kept. There's ways of training a cat with their harness. You play with them, you make it fun, you take it off them.
Yeah.
If they get like annoyed, take it off and put them back on in an hour time.
We didn't drag her around with a leash. Come
No,
on.
you don't put a leash. You don't connect a leash until
let
they're
them
very happy with the actual jacket.
Yeah.
Or harness or whatever you're using.
Yeah, what other kinds of training have you had to do with Ruby to get her used to being on a boat? I mean, it's so different. I mean, I guess maybe since it's been her whole life, she's never been a land kitty. I would think like, getting used to the rocking of a boat, getting used to being around water because so many there's the misconception, cats hate water, all of that.
Yeah.
What have you had to do to make her comfortable on the boat?
Envy started off.
We've been very diligent
yeah.
about it, and really, I had a focused plan on how to make her comfortable and not scared.
I think a lot of it, the boat wasn't probably as daunting, but it's the noises of the boat.
Correct.
So you start the engine, we flush a toilet, there's pumps, there's things.
Like the water pump, I remember when we brought her home, and she's this tiny little 2-pound kitten, and the water pump I'd be playing with her, and the water pump would go off, and she'd be like, and I would just keep playing with her and be like, "You're okay, it's fun." Like, you just make it all yay. Yeah. It's all about positive reinforcement and making. If something scares her completely, take a step back and then try it again. Things like
we took her in the dinghy. The dinghy is the big one because she rides the dinghy like a dog on the bow of the boat.
She loves it.
So Envy would take her. Oh, there's a pussycat. So Envy would take Miss Rigby out on the tender while it was in the back of the boat, wrapped up, really nice and tight, and she would just sit there,
and she'd be like, and I would just sit there calmly, like literally for 2 minutes, and just talk to her and go, "You're okay." Then she would come out of that going, "Well, that wasn't bad. Nothing bad happened." And so then I would progress from that and then take the tail off, and we would just sit in the dinghy tied to the back of the boat, no engine, nothing happening. Do it again. And then I would say, "Shane, go and start the engine." I would take her on, and she'd be like back in the tail, eyes wide. There's a crazy engine making a noise.
2-stroke engine.
And you just keep doing it, and it's like desensitization, basically.
Yeah.
And you keep showing her this and teaching her this, and she's like, "Well, nothing bad happened." And then eventually you'll go for a really short dinghy ride and then increase it.
And she'll be like on the floor, like what's going on? Next thing she's like, "Oh, hang on," looking over the side, and now it's like, "Get me off this dinghy as soon as we get to land." She's like leaping off the bow onto the beach.
Or as soon as the dinghy goes the davits into the water, she's like jumping in there.
Or if she hears me start the dinghy, it's like, "Oh, hang on." She'll be sound asleep and come up and go, "Oh, what are you guys up to?"
Where am I going?
So, I've seen the videos on your Instagram of her jumping on and off the dinghy. It's so amazing.
Ruby did a great compilation of all her jumps. I think it was 2 jump. The music jump, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've done a couple of them over the time.
Yeah, it was really cool. And look, people freak out.
I keep videoing her jumping because I'm like, the day I don't video her jumping back to the boat, she's going to jump miss and
it's
land
going to be a big
in the water.
splash. We're almost like, when's that going to happen?
I mean, and if people freak out, and I'm like, but if it did happen, she'll just get wet.
Yeah,
she can swim, and I'll pick her up within 2 seconds, and she's done it once. Yeah. Jumping onto a jetty when she was a kitten, and then only her claws hit the edge of the dock, and then she fell into the water, and there was this whole jetty full of people watching. It was
it was a bit embarrassing for her.
Bad cat owners.
Yeah,
but she strutted. She shook herself off and strutted down the jetty.
Just like
I meant that.
Yeah, I mean, every cat has a wipeout every now and then.
Right. And she survived. She's fine.
Yeah.
I think people can get a bit precious.
She wasn't traumatized.
Yeah. Well, we have a question from a viewer. Darren is wondering how long it took Rigby to get her sea legs.
I was thinking about this the other day. When we got her, she was only on board for less than 2 weeks, and we picked her up in New York. We were in Sag Harbor, New York, and we drove to Connecticut and got her. And within 2 weeks, because it was September, my birthday.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And
we started to head south.
We started to sail south. So we had a really rough first day out.
Yeah, down the Jersey Shore, I think.
Yeah.
Or Long Island Sound.
Long Island Sound.
Yeah, it was really
so
rough.
Anyway, and I remember just behind us here, I had a bed set up for her as a kitten, and I had her all wrapped up in a blanket because it was sort of cold. And I would sit down. I sat down here with her, reassuring her. She did not care less. She just went to sleep. She just went to sleep. I mean, it's rocking.
She knew nothing else, though.
Yeah, she's like, and we'd already again taught her all the sounds of the boat. Like you would start the engine,
the main engine,
and I would feed her at the same time. And then she would be like, "Oh, what's that?" And I'd go, "You're okay, pat her," and she'd keep eating. So it's all about just making everything positive. That's all I can say.
And she didn't know any better. So, I mean, if I dragged you on board, Emily, you'd be going, "Oh God, it's going to get rough. I'm sure I might get seasick." But that's just you're already predicting that. Well, she doesn't know.
She's a cat. She doesn't know. She's just like, "Oh, it's a bit of rocking."
This is the world.
Like. So she really, and like now we can be in horrendous conditions, and I come down and I'm walking on the side and being thrown around, and she's doing the same. She's walking down the
great balance.
Four legs.
For us.
If only we all had the balance of a cat, right?
I know. I mean, for us to go to the toilet and the boat's like, this angle, and she's in her kitty litter, just like.
Oh yeah,
shaking it out like, this is no.
I have seen her in rough conditions go to use the cat litter, and when she goes to the cat litter, she puts her paws on the edge.
She sits on the outside.
Or she stands. Anyway, much information about our cat toilet habits, but she was doing the same thing, and when she had 3 feet up on the edge, and she's just balancing.
But we in the middle of the boat is the most stable part of the boat, so we usually put a bunk on either side of the boat, and she just decides where she wants to go.
We do set up her,
and it's the quietest part of the boat as well, in the middle. So if the waves are smashing over the bow or the engine's running, sometimes she'll find her little happy spot.
She's got a few. If it gets really rough, she often goes forward under we know, like she finds the best place. But normally it's like where I'm sitting right now. I'll make cushions around and make a little nest for her, and she's like, she knows. She's just like, okay, we're sailing. I'll go sit here now.
One of the problems, I mean, we're lucky we have a 50-foot boat. It sounds big, in a lot of people's eyes, and other people's eyes, it's not that big. But on this boat, the hardest part about Rigby is finding her, because she has so many to hide, and you honestly think she's disappeared on the dock, or she jumps on someone else's boat, and
she does jump on boats.
And we just like, where the hell is she? I mean, one time we found her inside another person's boat that was locked, but she got in through a hatch.
Like the hatch was
open.
Oh
my gosh!
And she's like looking through the window at us, like basically giving us the bird, like, and we couldn't get her, so we just had to wait it out.
Our boat, there's times where we'll spend 20 minutes trying to find her here, and you just go, where was she? All of a sudden she'll appear, and you just don't think she could have that many hidey holes.
She also jumps into the sails, the mainsail.
Yeah, up on the boom. So she'll jump up there.
I can't find her there.
Not underway. No.
Yeah.
Because we're at a marina at the moment. So even like at the marina, like it's raining at the moment, I can leave the door open. She's not going anywhere because she doesn't want to go out in the rain.
Yeah.
But we lock her down if we're both out for the day or a few hours.
Yeah, she doesn't get free rein.
She doesn't, but she does escape occasionally.
Occasionally she'll sneak out if we're not watching, but not really.
But it's a very safe. We're in a locked yacht club, so everyone knows her, and they usually just shoo her back to the boat.
Normally, in a new environment, she's more inquisitive, but now she knows the club here that we're at anchor or moored at or docked at.
And as long as she gets a walk every day, she's not interested.
Yeah.
So if I walk her in the morning, she's not going to go off exploring again. She'll just, I can leave the boat open all day, and she'll just be like,
she goes on a walk or a bike ride or whatever it is, the dinghy ride.
Yeah.
I take her to the park a lot on the bike. So.
Yeah.
Her daily outing.
Yeah, we try and give her a daily outing. Not at
Yeah.
the moment. The last couple of days it's been raining.
Yeah, because of the torrential rain.
So she'll probably howl at us tonight, giving us a hard time.
A wake-up call.
I can't believe she's not up yet.
Well, hopefully she gets up soon so we can catch a glimpse of the famous Rigby.
Shane will go get her. It's almost like she's, everyone who has cats, they have a routine. So she normally gets up around 9. So Shane's going to wake her up early in one of her many beds in her bedroom, which is meant to be our guest cabin.
That's funny.
Here she comes.
There she is.
She was on her beanbag, not actually in her igloo, which is, again, one of the many spots. But the igloo is the favourite at the moment. But, yeah, her beanbag is...
she has a whole human-sized beanbag.
I'll try and
wow.
Who's that, Riggs?
Hey, Rigby. Hey, sweet girl.
I want to stand on the laptop and start pressing keys.
Ah, yes. Aw, so cute.
Yeah, she's super cute. And, people say, a lot of people don't know the Burmese breed. And then they touch her and pat her, or some of them hold her. And it's like, oh, wow, she's so small but so heavy. And the thing is, we often say she's like a brick wrapped in velvet.
That's how Burmese are described, a brick wrapped in velvet. Because she's only like 7 pounds.
But she's so muscular and strong.
Yeah.
They're an intriguing breed.
Oh, she's off.
Yep. We love her. Yeah, she's a good girl.
She is cute.
Yeah.
She might.
So she swims, right?
She does swim. She does. I have to admit, she doesn't love swimming. We
tried really early.
Yeah, we introduced her to swimming when she was a kitten, just so she knew what water was about, and we wanted to make sure that she could swim.
Yeah, and she knew what the water was.
Yeah.
So she didn't love it. She still doesn't love it, but she, on a hot day, if we're out cruising around the Bahamas, we'll take her on like a shallow area, and sometimes she'll just
she'll start waddling around, but it's not like what is it, Nathan the Beach Cat?
Yeah, it's not like Nathan and Winnie. It's not like they're like swimming. They go in on their own accord, and other breed cats do as well. I wouldn't say she's like that. She's definitely more of a princess. Like if she walks down the dock and the dock's wet, she'll be like
shaking her paw.
She's a cat. But we have footage of her swimming, and if we did it more often, I think she wouldn't mind it. But we don't push her. It's like, why would I do that? She does everything else.
Especially when you live on a boat, you don't want to force her to, then think the water's a bad thing either.
No, but I also don't want her to love the water and jump off the boat and go swimming.
That's true.
See that beach over there, or those pigs on the beach, or whatever it is.
But no, there was a cat in Australia that I used to follow. This woman lived on a boat with her cat, and that cat would follow the dinghy, swim. Like jump off and follow their dinghy to shore and like go exploring on shore, and then or they'd have to retrieve it and bring it. I'm like, I don't want that. Like that would be scary.
Yeah. Good to introduce them to it so that if something happens, they're prepared. But I can't imagine like living on a boat and your cat just wanting to jump in the water all the time. That's hazardous.
No, that does happen. There are cats like that.
It'd be like a dog. Most dogs will follow you and jump in, and where a cat's more obviously, they're not as they don't enjoy the water as much. But you imagine if we go ashore to do shopping or anything, and next thing your cat's jumping in or your dog's jumping in behind you. No. A lot of people do lock their dogs down, because of that.
Sometimes, most of the time, we lock Rigby down below. If we're in a very safe anchorage and she's just snoozing, we're like, she'll be fine. But I'm always a bit nervous to get back to the boat and she's still on the boat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel safer if we're going for a short time.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to lock the boat.
Just lock her down. So
some places you really have to lock the boat.
Yeah. So I don't like to just leave it open. Sometimes we'll leave a porthole open so she can jump out. But she's not that interested. She's
sleeper.
She sleeps.
She likes her home.
Yeah, she's pretty happy. She's happy.
Quick pause. Have you taken the cat personality quiz yet? It's a fun 10-question quiz I created to help you figure out your cat's adventure personality, whether they're a fearless, curious, or indoor adventurer. You'll get personalized tips and resources based on their unique traits so you can support them in living their best life, on the trail or in the living room. Head on over to kittycatgo.com/quiz to take it. After the episode, of course. Well, you guys talked a bit about the difficulties of finding a pet sitter when you're not like in a home port, when you're like sailing around. And I imagine you kind of have the same difficulties in finding a vet. If Rigby gets sick or you have to see a vet, how do you handle vet visits when you're living on a boat and sailing around?
We've actually had some really great, well, touch wood, and luckily Rigby's pretty healthy.
Yeah.
We've had no real emergencies
dramas,
with her.
which is probably unusual for a purebred. Like purebred dogs and cats generally have
Sometimes.
maybe some more health issues, possibly.
Yeah, and we have firstly we have an emergency kit on the boat. So for her, probably it's bigger than our
maybe more,
our medical kit.
Probably more updated than our medical kit.
So we have a great vet here in Fort Lauderdale, which we love. So a couple of years ago, I should say, we went to her and said, look, we're going offshore for a while. And Rigby had just recovered after a virus. She's had it twice where she's had a huge fever and just been really lethargic, and we didn't know what was wrong. So raced her to the vet, and they just pump her with like antibiotics and anti-inflammatories and fluids. So I'm like, especially with a little cat, they can dehydrate super quick
and die.
And with a fever. So we ended up getting some fluids and needles, and they taught me how to give her subcutaneous fluids if anything like that happens, because it can happen fast. And we could be days away from getting to a vet, if not more than days.
Yeah.
So we have that for her, and we have some like broad spectrum antibiotics, eye drops and whatever, but
bits and pieces. Saline, especially, sometimes cats get little eye infections, and
I've actually
saline drops seem to work.
Burmese are renowned to get like eye
because of their bulbous eye.
Yeah, their eye infection. So as soon as I see her get a squinty eye, I give her saline drops in her eyes, and it usually clears it up. It's actually sounds weird, but it's a herpes virus behind the eye. Once they have it, it repeats, and so I usually can control that. But anyway, when we did have we've had one very bad vet experience in Maryland, which is why now Rigby hates other cats
and vets. That was a shame, and that was just, again, we went to a vet. She had a cat attack. She was attacked by another cat,
which
had
traumatized her. She had her stomach ripped open.
And so, unfortunately, that vet put like a hood over her head because she was
like a hooded straitjacket over to control her.
Because she was on pumped up with adrenaline after the cat attack.
She was even hissing at us, like she was so stressed.
So that wasn't great.
And she wriggled out of it and fell off the exam table. I'm in tears. It was just so. And I told my regular vet when I got back. And they're like, what were they thinking? They should have thrown a towel over her and given her like sedated her and then dealt with her. So that's why she's now terrified of vets and also terrified of cats.
Understandable.
Places, in some places like the Bahamas, like in some of the southern islands of the Bahamas, the vet comes like every 2 weeks or every week for a one-day visit. So that's difficult. But, generally the cruising community, everyone might have an animal or a dog, and we share a lot of information online and stuff as well.
So the best experience we had was in Grenada, down the bottom of the Caribbean, and Rigby just needed her annual shots. And
excuse me.
And so we found a vet that comes to you, and
Vets on the go.
Nice.
Vets on the go. If anyone's cruising in the Grenada, go and see. What was her name? Anyway, we'll think about that. Vets on the go.
Emily, no.
You're Emily.
Yeah, no, but it could have been.
I'll think about it. Anyway, she's amazing. Just Google vets on the go in Grenada. And we picked her up at the dinghy dock with our dinghy because we were out at anchor on our boat. And she came to see Rigby. And she was like in our V berth on our bed with Rigby was all calm and like it was amazing.
Just a great vet experience.
Yeah, she gave us all it was so cheap as well that I like paid twice like the amount. It was like $60 or something for all these shots and the exam and it was
wow.
great. So yeah, we gave her a big tip and it was lovely. Like it was, and then Rigby came on the dinghy ride back to the dock with them, and she actually brought an assistant, a local Caribbean girl, Grenadian girl.
Yeah, teaching the assistant, and
that was wonderful. Like I still have the little card that she filled in with all
MV ends up like rescuing a whole bunch of cats down there, and we had vets on the go come and do all sorts of stuff.
Like, Emily.
Of course.
I'm like, been here in Fort Lauderdale, I feed these cats and those cats, and then I'll find a cat at the boat yard. And
how do you think we ended up with 6 cats?
And if it wasn't we were living on a boat and Rigby hated other cats, we'd probably have 6 cats too. So
yeah, MV's always working, to help. A lot of the local cats,
and we have
wherever
Tom,
we go.
And we have Tom the Marina cat.
Tom the Marina cat.
And most of our followers on Instagram know because
we had a couple of Marina cats in Grenada that we looked after.
Wow.
So, it's
you do
cool.
what you can where you are,
But you can generally, going back to the question, you can find people, and usually the community, if you ask around, you just get on the radio and, people here ask, does anyone know a vet locally? So
I think it's important to have some basic medical stuff on board for emergencies.
Yeah.
Especially being remote, like if we're out at sea and something happened to her. I think fluids is important and general antibiotics.
Yeah.
Can't really think of anything else.
Yeah.
Litter. I don't know, that's not medical, but
cat litter.
Cat litter is
plenty.
We don't have much cat litter. She's like the tiniest cat and does not like
in a real drastic pinch, you could just go to the beach, grab some sand and stick it in there.
Well, when we're actually cruising and going to land islands every day, and
that's what she's doing.
That's what she does. She waits almost till she goes ashore, and she has the best cat litter in the world.
Poop in the wild.
That's right.
Yeah.
What is the furthest you guys have sailed with Rigby? Darren, a viewer, is asking the furthest you've sailed with Rigby without touching land, and if you would sail back to Australia.
Definitely want to sail back to Australia.
Yeah.
The furthest we've done with Rigby would probably be 3 or 4 days non-stop.
Yeah, I don't think we had her when we did a couple of 10-day stints.
When we did the big passages from the Caribbean to New York, we didn't have Rigby yet. And we'd done numerous of those before that.
Well, it could have been maybe 5 days. Probably 5 days, yeah. I think up to New York from Florida.
Florida to New York, maybe non-stop. And then we came back from New York with her, but we stopped along the way.
Yeah, a lot of 2, 3, 4 days, but not like, so we haven't crossed the Atlantic, we haven't crossed oceans where, that's
we
20 days.
By now.
Yeah, by now we've done over 100,000 miles on this boat, but it's been a lot in this area. So, so she's had a lot of sea miles, more than a lot of people for sure.
We're hoping to sail across to Europe, so that'll be 2 or 3 weeks with her.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, a bit more, but on and off.
Yeah.
I mean, our plans vary depending on money and where we are in life, and so I mean, sailing back to our own country would be fantastic, but we'd want to continue.
We want to circumnavigate, which
circumnavigate.
we really would like to circumnavigate, but
just life gets in the way of continuing on, and
unfortunately making money and living.
Yeah,
like we gave up the real world in our professional life, so to live this nomadic life. So we'll work.
Basically, work to survive.
We'll work for a while and then we'll go off and travel. So we're getting close to travel again at the moment. So
that's exciting.
Yeah.
What would you say is the hardest part about sailboat living in general and with a cat as well?
Weather. Living on a boat, weather is always the main thing. Not so much people like, oh, you don't want to go sailing, it's raining. Like, no, the rain doesn't matter. It's the wind and the sea state. So that's probably the worst thing. And with a cat, that doesn't affect her.
Yeah.
But the worst thing about a cat, there's really not that many
I don't
negatives.
think there's too many negatives. Besides, we talked on already. Is if we do have to, if I have to go away to work, or MV goes away to work, or we need to find somewhere for Rigby, to go, because we can't just leave her on the boat.
No.
That's probably the hardest thing, I would think. Otherwise, it's just so super enjoyable and easy.
And also, if that was the case and we didn't have like a trustworthy cat sitter, one of us just wouldn't do the job. Like if we get offered a job, like we both work on boats, other
Doing
people
various
boats.
roles,
like
yeah.
Shane's a 200-ton captain, so he's like works on boats and delivers. He just got back from delivering a boat up to Rhode Island.
Yeah, from Fort Lauderdale.
And then he's leaving again
on Saturday to do the same, actually.
On another boat. So
Wow.
I'm going to Bermuda on early July to work with a family that I work with, just like as a sous chef and server. I know the family now, so I'm like part of the family, but they fly me into different places to help out. So, and I also do work on other boats as well.
But yeah, finding that person that can, actually, I think with that, I don't know how many Instagram followers, there's a lot. We could probably reach out to anybody and say, hey, who wants to look after Rigby?
I know.
And
That's true.
to come and stay on our boat and look after Rigby while we're not here.
We've never done that. We've never had
well, there
to
you
do
go.
that.
Emily's got
So yeah, I think that's the main thing. But we have used
there's no negatives, really.
No, we have used rover.com, which is mainly for dogs. It's a website. Do you heard of that? Yeah. So we have that once
Up in
or
New York,
twice. No, and in Florida once before we found our regular cat sitters. And she was great, but they have to have no other cats.
Yeah, they can't have multiples.
So that's the problem. Everyone that we know that they love cats, so they've got their own cats, and then we're like, well, you can't have our cat
because Rigby's anti-cat.
Rigby will just stress, and I wouldn't put that on her.
Yeah.
We'll be walking around a park, and there might be maybe a feral cat's been there, and she'll smell it, and she'll start hissing. That's how terrified she is of other cats. So
yeah.
And living on a boat is, as MV said, the weather, and it's just the constant upkeep. Some people aren't. It's like having a house. You've got to mow the lawn. You've got to, fix things, paint things.
So we don't mow a lawn, but we scrub the bottom.
We clean the bottom of the boat. And there's always something to fix. Always something breaking.
Boat life sounds really glamorous, but it's actually very expensive. And you've got to just go, yep, that broke. We have to fix it. There's something that breaks constantly. Yeah. There's always something broken on the boat.
Basically, you're working on a boat in exotic locations.
Yeah, that's what cruising is. Working on your boat in exotic locations. That's exactly what it is.
So, and that's just part of it, and you get used to it. Initially, it drove you crazy. We're now 14 years, which is nuts. It's just, you can't imagine that. I don't know how that's happened. But, when we first started, we had a fairly new boat. It was secondhand, but
it was only 18 months old when we bought the boat. And now it's a nearly 16-year-old boat.
Yeah, it's crazy. and here we are 14 years on, and grey hair, and
you already have grey hair.
A lot older. But
but we love it. We love the simplicity of it.
We could go back to our old life, but we just don't really want to.
I don't want to. Yeah. We will go back to Australia. We will sail there, but we will settle back in Australia when we're older than we are. I was going to say when we're old, but we're already old. But older than we are.
Yeah, I guess eventually keeping up with the sailboat would be too big of a job. Yeah,
well, it's actually not too bad, but a lot of people get to an age where they go from a sailboat to a smaller motorboat. Just because the sailing gets tougher, and then they go to nicer, calmer waters. We've talked about going over to Europe and maybe selling our sailboat and going to a canal boat.
And doing the French canals
doing all the
for
canals.
A few years. I would love to do that.
Now, Rigby would love that because,
that worries me.
That would be scary because
she will jump off. If you're tied up on a bank on a canal
being
boat.
on a dock.
I know,
but you have to keep a closer eye.
I would get like some sort of alarm system that, like, if she jumps off the boat, that it'd be like,
Yeah. But Emily,
Yeah.
I'm saying to MV, I don't want to do that yet because we don't want to get soft. Like out on the ocean, it can be dangerous, it can be scary,
it can be very tough.
and it's tough. You're doing, we only usually the two of us crewing on the boat, so. You're on that rough ocean going to a beautiful little luxury canal
doing like 2 knots, putting around. That would be like so cushy.
Yeah, and then you say, let's go back to a sailboat.
It's and let's go sail around the world. I'll be like, So I think we need to. I think we need to do the circumnavigation first, and then do the canal boat.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
The canal boat's for like old grey-haired people, down the track. I hope I don't offend anyone, but I'm grey.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Does Rigby ever have occasion to chase any pests like rodents or large insects? Do you guys get?
Oh my God, yes. I had this literally the other day. I took her to the park, and we have the big iguanas here in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
And they're mainly green, but the big male ones, when
they're ready to mate, they go
orange, and they can be quite aggressive. So I'm walking through the park, and I go at a certain time when no one's around. So we're just walking through the park, and then all of a sudden I notice this big orange iguana. Did I tell you about this? And anyway, it was massive. Like it was.
Yeah, they're big. They're
5 foot long.
Like size that. Their body is like a big football.
And so I see it, and Rigby hadn't seen it yet. So I'm like, go up to it and like go to like make it run off. And normally they just run off. And it just stood there and like frilled up at me. And I'm like, And then I look around, Rigby's seen it, and she starts like stalking it. Like this iguana is like huge. And I'm like.
Bigger than Rigby.
Monster.
Monster. It's 5 foot long. Its body's like.
It's like a small alligator.
and so I'm like, I don't want to like try. If you try and pick Rigby up sometimes when she's on a walk, she'll run away because she's like, no, I'm doing my own thing. So I'm trying to like subtly come over and put my finger in her harness. That's why she always has a harness on. She has a tracker on her so I can find her if for some reason.
She disappears in the foliage.
She'll disappear into a bush.
She is a camo cat.
She's brown. She blends into everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to like hook her with the harness and pick her up. And finally she like goes to lunge at this iguana, and it like goes to like go at her, and I like scooped her up and flicked her in the air. And someone told me later that those iguanas will use their tail to flick their prey, or like. And will like knock him out, like, and they've got these massive claws.
Claws for climbing.
So that did freak me out, and I'm like, no more iguanas, because she has chased many smaller iguanas.
Yeah, she likes chasing the little lizards.
She catches them.
And catch them, and then we try to like get them off her. So we don't like her to kill.
I mean, there's
anything.
millions of them, and I do feel bad. I don't want to see her kill something.
I think we've been in the middle of the ocean. There's these tiny little finches that just appear in the middle of nowhere.
That was bad.
Oh.
And we you wonder where they must get caught in the wind.
They're little seabirds, and they come and rest and sleep on our boat.
Yeah.
And we always make a little nest for them and give them water and like seed.
They're cute little things, and one time we had one, and then we were like, oh, okay, we've got to keep Rigby, away. And then next thing, we knew Rigby had known something was around, and we must have not paid attention. And this little bird came down into where we're sitting now, and then it was like split second, and unfortunately, the little bird had a sleep,
a very long sleep, and there was everywhere.
Yeah, but. That's the first time she's ever and only time she's caught something, a bird.
Mind you, most of these finches, we make them little homes, and we'll
some of them end up dying anyway because they're like dehydrated, they're worn out.
But we give good life before they die.
Some of them make it all the way back to land and then fly off. It's fantastic.
We had one that joined Chesapeake, and then we sailed all the way down into Beaufort, North Carolina, and the bird was with us
around Cape Hatteras.
This is before Rigby time.
Yeah,
and then as we're coming in the entrance, the bird woke up basically and flew to land.
Yeah.
And we're like,
oh my gosh.
got a free ride.
She's never caught a mouse or a rat or.
No. I mean,
she looks at the fish sometimes. You'll get fish swimming around the boat. She'll look at them.
She's looked at dolphins.
Dolphins. She's looked at
turtles. She loves turtles when they pop up.
Yep. There's actually been just recently a couple of little tiny crabs that are crawling off our dock lines onto the boat.
Yeah, they're
and
like
she
about
was
that.
she was hunting a little crab the other day. Actually, yeah, it was just a couple of days ago.
A couple of days ago, she was stalking the crab on the deck.
We're lucky we don't have cockroaches, but there's usually a couple of flying bugs that might land, on the boat.
She's a cat. She likes to
She
hunt.
just looks at them. She doesn't really, maybe the odd tap,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know where she's gone. She's gone back to bed.
Yeah, I think she's back to bed.
Well, despite living on a boat, Rigby has a very vibrant hunting life.
Yes. Oh, she did. She did try and get a snake. Remember?
Oh yeah, there was a snake that popped up on
A
one of the
little,
islands.
like a little baby python, in the Bahamas. They're harmless.
Yeah, harmless.
Yeah.
And I saw it, and then Rigby saw it, and you jumped between Rigby and the python because Rigby's trying to get to the python, the python's trying to get to Rigby. But it wouldn't have hurt her.
No. And the odd squirrel as well. Probably.
And she's a Burmese, don't they hunt Burmese pythons?
They meant to, yeah. But yeah, the odd squirrel here in America.
Oh, she did catch a squirrel once.
Did she catch one? No. Oh. The
And-
squirrels are too smart though. They just
Yeah.
like to deal with it.
She caught one. And there's fluff went everywhere, and then she went she freaked out, and then the squirrel ran off.
Anyway, she's not normally a hunter.
No,
Yeah.
we're talking about 9 years. That's the only thing she's caught.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad.
Yeah. Pretty good. Shane and MV, do you guys have any final tips or advice for anyone who is an aspiring sailboater? Sailor?
Yeah. And sailor could be male or female.
Yes. If you ever thought about going cruising and having a boat, just do it. It's fun. It's another life.
Yeah, it changes your life. It really does. And a lot of people just we always say ignorance is bliss. A lot of people are out here doing or buy a boat and have no idea, and they're just winging it, and we're just like, oh no.
Oh God, we meet so many people that've never sailed a boat before, and they go to France and buy a brand new boat and then sail it across the Atlantic.
Like, oh my God, they don't even realize.
And they're like la la la, and we're like, you do know how dangerous that is, but they don't care. They seem to survive.
You just
it's fine.
I think it's like anything in life. Just have a go and enjoy it.
And do take your cat.
Yeah.
Just do it slowly. Just do everything super slow and calmly, very, very calmly, because they'll feel your anxiety. If you're like, the cat might not like this, the cat's going to sense that. But if you just have the cat and go, hey, this is what we're doing, and
especially if you're bringing your cat that's like 5 or 6 years old onto a boat,
it can be done.
Then,
Friends of ours have done it.
It's got to be just a slow transition.
Even like just come for a day. Don't do anything. Don't start the engine. Don't go sailing. It's not like you'd be really crazy to throw your cat on your boat, start the engines, go sailing.
Straight out in the Atlantic.
That's just stupid. You wouldn't do that to like.
I wouldn't do it to you, Emily.
Yeah. You would introduce it all slowly. Everything.
Come on, let's just go out for a little sail first, and a cocktail afterwards. You go, this is good. And if it was rough, you have a cocktail, you forget about how bad it was, and then next time it's like, okay, here we go again. So
yeah, just do it step by step, and if the cat seems stressed, then just take a step back.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like that's a pretty common theme with really any kind of adventure thing that we do with our cats, whether it's sailboat living or camping or RV living, even just going for hikes. It's all about that gradual introduction and desensitization to scary sounds or people or whatever it may be, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Absolutely. That's the biggest tip. And I think that's what everyone that's successful in going out with their cat has done.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. Oh, actually, final question.
That's all right.
Do you guys miss living on land?
No.
And sometimes maybe, but not
What?
No, just because I'm a hands-on guy. I like doing things, gardening.
This is gardening. Can you believe that? Like what?
We've met friends along the way that are land people, and it used to be a seasonal thing. I'd go up and spring
Actually,
clean.
in Oxford, Maryland, we have
Oxford,
friends there, an older couple.
I'd go up and do the gardening on the way up, and on the way back down, I'd do the gardening and mow the lawn or cut the hedges. And there's definitely elements that you do miss maybe, but really, this one is actually. Sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe we should be going, back to a normal life, and I think this one is.
This one.
This one says, and that's unusual for the wife to say that, oh no, let's keep doing this, or let's sail across to Europe.
I'm sort of like I'm a bit over being in one place for so long.
We like to explore.
I'm ready to do the next adventure, whether that be change boats up, do canal boating, or just go to Europe. I'm ready for the next adventure.
Do something different. It'll be on the water, though, I'm sure.
But I don't think we miss land.
No, not really.
You don't either. I don't know why.
I'm a bit of a land. I like being on the land and digging dirt and that sort of stuff.
He's not a farmer. I don't know.
I'm
what
not
he's
a farmer,
talking about.
No, just stuff. There's elements to it. I think I miss having a house that I used to. We used to do a lot of work on houses. Being our background. I do miss the painting and all that, but I do enough renovating and work on our boat. So,
it sounds like that keeps you pretty busy.
One day we'll have the best of both worlds, maybe again, where we have a house somewhere and we do have a boat, and we can sort of do the snowbird thing. Go to one thing or the other. Depending on the season.
I don't see us going to land for
anytime soon. No. Yeah.
I think it's a nice, simple lifestyle. Like my wardrobe, literally probably a tenth of your wardrobe, maybe even less. Have maybe 10 pairs.
As big as a dishwasher, say, probably Maryvonne's. Or maybe not even.
And I maybe have 10 pairs of shoes, and 3 of those are flip flops. You know what I mean? And 3 of them are sneakers.
It's a simplistic life. Yeah.
I don't wear. I have 1 pair of jeans, and I never wear them because we're always in warm climates. It's just a simple. I like the simplicity. Like before we left home, you were getting a night. Being architects, we had bigger houses, nicer cars. I wasn't into that. It was like I don't need all of that. I just like throwing on a skirt and a t-shirt and just being chill.
And land is a sailor's enemy. We want to be as far away from land as we can, so we don't run into it.
You don't want to run into land.
Yeah, that's one thing.
That's fair. Yeah.
Sometimes it's nice when we go and stay in a hotel if we're traveling, or when we're going back to Australia for a month in August. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
We do miss
that's
family.
More family,
family and
time.
Friends back in Australia.
It's not necessarily land time. So. Yeah.
I hope that answered the question. We
probably waffled. Yeah, we waffled a fair bit.
I think we're disagreeing on it.
It was interesting to see that answer come full circle.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
I have to go back and listen to that myself.
You can tell we've been married nearly 30 years. We pretty well answer each other's questions.
Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you guys so much. This has been so much fun. I want to buy a sailboat now and go sail around. And I also want to come cat sit Rigby on your sailboat. So just give me a call, next time.
You're not far away.
Yeah, you're just a little bit north of us. It's a short drive.
That's right.
So.
And thank you so much for inviting us on. It's quite the treat.
Yeah. Not often
absolutely.
we get this sort of interest. So just an old Australian couple
living on a boat with a cat.
Yeah.
Who got famous, weirdly enough.
Hey.
Well, we're not famous.
No, the cat got famous.
Rigby's famous.
She's a cool cat, though. She's very cute.
But thanks, Emily.
Are you enjoying the Kitty Cat Go Adventure Podcast? Let me know by leaving a review on your preferred podcast platform. This will help others find the show and hopefully be inspired to get out there, try new things, and go new places with their cat. And as always, you can find any links and resources discussed in this episode down in the episode description. Until next time, happy adventuring.